What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in for another video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know, we're really trying to grow the channel right now. We're pumping out 3 videos a week, so would really appreciate you hitting that subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. Today we're going to dive in and look at another box that I keep in my boat. You know, we've kind of done a few different boxes of tackle, but this one's a little bit different. This is my toolbox that I keep in the back compartment in my boat that it comes in handy some days, and it can save your day. You know, having a few tools in the boat to fix a minor issue that happens out on the water can save your day. And, you know, one, maybe get you back safe. 2, you know, make sure you have a fun day of fishing out on the water if it's just something minor you need to fix real quick. So just wanted to go through and show you guys a few of the tools that you got to keep in your boat just in case of those emergencies. All right, so I keep mine in a waterproof box here. You know, it's got a seal on there just so no water can get in there and, you know, rust all your tools and everything. These are a little bit of a mess just because they've been beat up for years and years, bouncing around in the boat in different boxes. But, you know, right off the top, I got just a Ziploc bag full of my Allen wrenches. So all the different sizes and then a few extras. And you know, this has become more and more important lately because all of the stuff on the trolling motor, all of the live scope transducers, a lot of the mounting is with an Allen wrench. So you got to make sure you have those if you need to adjust something real quick on the water. And really, I even find myself using these tools when I'm off the water as well, but it's just so nice and convenient to have them right there in the boat that I can just pull this out, have the tools I need to tighten up something, you know, adjust my transducer, whatever it may be. You got to have the Allen wrenches right there. Of course, you got to have all your different screwdrivers. We got a few different variations. This is stuff I've just collected over the years. You know, wrenches to go along with that. A few different sizes. You know, really there's a few key sizes that as far as nuts and bolts on the motor end of things, and really you need a 3/4. That's generally what most of the nuts and bolts are on, you know, mounting your jack plate, your motor, even some of the power pull brackets. Generally it's a 3/4 or it's a 9/16. So generally speaking, these 2 wrenches will help you. You know, if you only had to pick 2 wrenches to keep in the boat, it would be these 2 sizes. You know, I have a couple other smaller ones. Just in case for some other little things, you know, the battery terminals and something like that. If, you know, you can't get the ratchet in there, you got to have some wrenches just in case. But really, I just got those few single wrenches that I keep in there. One, you know, this one is probably the one that gets used the most. You know, when I'm tightening up the motor bolts, which that actually reminds me I need to do that. Just, we're getting ready to head up north for some smallmouth fishing. Going to be some big waves, big water, so I want to make sure all my nuts and bolts are tight back there on the jack plate, on the motor, on the power poles, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, going along with that, you got to have the sockets to the same size. So generally, you know, I'm using the ratchet and the wrench to tighten up all those bolts like that. And, you know, you got to have the 3/4 and the 9/16. Those are probably the 2 most common, like I said, for the back of the boat. Of course, I got another Ziploc. You know, this was a kit of all the different sockets at one point, but you see how that ended up. It ended up in a Ziploc. So, you know, there's a bunch of different sizes mixed in there, but, you know, got all those just in case I need them for something. You know, there's not really much on the boat that uses a lot of those different sizes. Like I said, generally it's a 3/4, 9/16 for the bigger stuff. And then you get 1/2, 7/16, something like that for the smaller stuff. But, you know, you got to have a couple different variations of ratchets with all your different sockets. Then, you know, this one has come in handy for me a few times this year, and that's the prop wrench, the prop nut. So you got to make sure you have the right size socket. You know, I switched to a Suzuki this year from a Mercury, and I found out real quick that the size nut on the Mercury lower unit is a little different than the Mercury. The Suzuki is different than the Mercury. So basically I had to get a smaller socket. I think it's smaller. Yeah, this one's 1 16. This one is 28 millimeter. And now I got sockets that I can help anybody. If somebody with a Mercury breaks down, I can change the prop. If you know, my prop needs some adjustment on the Suzuki, I got the socket. But this right here has saved me. I've had to change out a couple props on the water this year from my own dumb self. And this has saved the day drastically. So you got to make sure you have a prop wrench in there of some sort. That's another big socket. I don't know what that one's for. That's a 1 3/16. I honestly don't know what that's for or why that's in there, but we're going to keep it in there. I got a few more old screwdrivers just in case. A couple different variations of pliers. You know, just you never know what you might need those for. And then this little guy I bought at Lowe's here recently, and it's basically just a little driver. Has a bunch of little sockets and all the different bits. So, you know, this is more for tightening up little things around the boat. You know, little screws if something rattles loose on, like, you know, my little mount down here, or, you know, anything that rattles loose. I got this little guy with all the different bits right here, handy in the boat. And, you know, this is not going to be a big project. You see, this is just a little tiny driver. So this is just tightening up those little screws and making sure everything's where it needs to be. So this is just a handy little piece, fits in there nice, and you know, gives me a bunch of different options for tightening things up. But that's really about it, guys. I keep it pretty simple. You know, I got the necessities. I don't carry a whole bunch of stuff just because I don't want to add the extra weight and everything in there. You know, the Suzuki does come with a little toolkit as well, but I have that in another little box back there just because it doesn't really fit in my main toolbox, and you don't really need to use that too often, so it kind of stays tucked away pretty far. But these tools are the main used ones that, you know, I spend a lot of time, you know, making sure the boat is tip-top shape. So hopefully you guys learned something from this video. I'm curious your thoughts, and definitely drop the suggestions in the comments below. I need some other suggestions. What tools that do you need to carry in the boat just in case that emergency arises? You know, all it takes is one time to be, you know, go through that situation one time where you need a tool that you don't have, and then you're going to have it in the boat. So love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. Appreciate you guys tuning in as always, and we'll see you guys next time.